Indigenous science. Indigenous science refers to the science knowledge of all peoples who, as cultural participants, are influenced by their home communities and homelands' worldviews and interests. In simple terms, indigenous science is science developed by indigenous people independently of Western science. The Philippines is a culturally diverse country with an estimated 14 to 17 million indigenous peoples belonging to 110 ethno-linguistic groups. Many of the Philippines' indigenous peoples were able to preserve their traditions, as evidenced by their music, dances, rituals, folklore, wood carving, agriculture, and forestry practices. Here are the examples of indigenous science in the Philippines. Wang Od Agay's traditional tattooing. Apo Wang Od's method of tattooing is called Kalinga tattoo. Kalinga is a 1,000-year tattooing method that is a bit more painful than modern methods. The ink used for Kalinga tattoo is made from indigenous materials. Inside a coconut shell is charcoal mixed with water inside pierced into the skin with a sharp thorn needle from a calamansi tree. The first bamboo stick is used for holding the thorn in place, the other is used to tap the first to pierce the skin. Herbalism and plant medicine. There are 10,000 to 14,000 plant species in the Philippines. While 1,500 of them have medicinal potential, only 120 have been scientifically validated. Only 10 medicinal plants have been approved by the Philippine Department of Health for use in herbal teas, tinctures, fluid extracts, poultices, vegetable fat mixtures, tablets, supplements, powders, creams, and essential oils. However, many individuals still believe on the use of plants to treat such illness. There are tribes who have been using plants since time immemorial and believe that it's very effective in treating various illnesses such as fever, diarrhea, cough, and skin diseases. Traditional medicine include avocado leaves, young tamarind leaves, ampi leaves, and many more. Prediction of weather. Many individuals use their knowledge in observing behavior and celestial bodies to predict the weather conditions and seasons. Traditional weather forecasting methods are used as a guide in farming and fishing activities and also for self-help disaster preparedness. It is said that the unusual behavior of ants, earthworms, dragonflies, dogs, frogs and birds like Himalayan swiftlet, lesser cockle, plaintive cuckoo, heron or honeybees usually predict an upcoming rain, typhoon or bad weather. The ripening and shedding of fruits of plants such as physic nut, bangkal and siniguelas were also considered by farmers as reliable indicators of the onset of rainy season. A long parallel band of feathery clouds and moon with rings were also important clues to predict weather. For fisher folks, the visible seawater evaporation and high sea waves were the most preferred indicators. These traditional weather forecasting had been used by the respondents for many years as handed down to most of them by their forefathers. Banawe rice terraces. Rice terraces are indigenous Ifugao people's ancestral land. The Ifugao peoples are not only custodians of the forest and rice terraces, but also experts in managing local ecosystems and natural resources in a harmonious manner. The Ifugaos built the rice terraces for a variety of reasons, the most important of which was to provide food for their families. The primary advantage of terraces is that they aid in the control of soil erosion. It also has secondary benefits such as reducing flooding and eliminating grass waterways, which can be difficult to maintain. Producing wines from tropical fruits. The Philippines has an abundant culture and tradition of brewing, fermenting, and drinking wines from various parts of the country. Every region has its own distinctive line of unique and exotic local wines and spirits. The traditional tuba, which has a cloudy appearance and a hint of reddish-brown color, is one of the most well-known wines made in the Philippines. It's made with barak wood and comes from a young coconut sap. The lambanog coconut wine, on the other hand, is usually clear or milky in appearance. Within regions, the tuba and lambanog are frequently interchanged, despite the color and mixing differences. Preserving of foods. Smoking, food drying, salting, and fermentation are all traditional methods of food preservation, and any combination of these methods can be used. Deep fat frying and salt steaming are two other short-term preservation methods. Badjao of Tawi Tawi's fishing method. The Badjao's fishing method is environmentally friendly. Lingzi, net fishing, hag ambit, deep sea fishing, pabik or pana, spear and arrow or hook line, pitakin, diving weapon, and sankalia, shark fishing, are several examples. Preserving and selecting good seeds for planting. The selection of seeds is essential since seeds are responsible for the growth of a new plant. The seed must be good in order for it to grow into a plant. Otherwise, we will not get the desired result. We must choose good and healthy seeds. Keeping the custom of growing plants and vegetables in the yard. Planting some seeds and some vegetables in one's own backyard is part of the practice of our pre-colonial ancestors long time ago. Hilot. The Filipino healing tradition, or hilot, is an indigenous practice passed down from generation to generation by Filipino sages, or albularios. A typical hilot session, like other massage therapies, begins with the application of oil to the skin. The manggihalo will then feel the body for areas of congestion with his deft fingers. Once the source of the congestion has been identified, the manggihalo gently massages the body with upward, circular, or downward strokes. There are many more indigenous science here in the Philippines. Let us all be familiar and protect those things because it is a legacy passed down from our ancestors and it is very significant since it has assisted people in understanding the natural environment and coping with daily life. That's all for this video. Hope y'all gained a lesson. Thank you very much.